เออโอ้ย So respected most venerable Mahasangha, Dhamma brothers and sisters, the most venerable greets, the most venerable greet all of the audience worldwide or around the world, because maybe it is live stream, right? Live stream. Huh? Huh? But I said it. So today, just in the afternoon, he mentioned about the four Sublime Abodes and the Four Noble Truths. I don't know whether this Dhamma or the topic is included in Mahaparinibbana Sutta or not. But he would like to summarize this. The Four Noble Truths, of course, we know already that Dukkha, Samudaya, Nirodha, and Magga. Dukkha is suffering. Samudaya, the cause of suffering. Nirodha, the extinction of suffering. And Magga is the path that leads to the extinction of suffering. That is about the Eightfold Noble Path, of course. But he didn't go into details for this. And for the four Sublime Abodes, on a บรังให้ต่อโอ้ยตัวนี้มันก็เกิดอยู่อะไรอยู่สับสน I nearly forget already everything he just said. Okay, he mentioned about the four Sublime Abodes: Metta, Karuna, Mudita, Upekkha. Metta is loving kindness, Karuna compassion, Mudita sympathetic joy, and Upekkha equanimity. This is the Dhamma that we already know about this. Why we have to practice loving kindness? Why we have to practice the four Sublime Abodes? Because this Dhamma help us to bring peace to the society, to ourselves and towards other people. He compare. He raised the points of view of different peoples. For example, if someone see a cow walking in the road, if someone see the cow as in the eye of loving kindness, and someone who see the cow in different way. For those who see the cow as the food, may want to kill that kind of animal to cook. But for those who have compassionate mind, loving kindness mind, see different way. That is the very vivid example for loving kindness. In here, actually he talk about the great science like Galileo, but I cannot remember all of the points. He mentioned that before that Galileo believed that the sun and the moon is the sun and the moon, it's some particles of the universe, like in the galaxies. there are many, thousand million stars or planets in the universe. Not, they are not the creation of any kind of supernatural being. And then at that time, people didn't believe him, what he talked about. But after that, when the world is civilized and many scientists discover this kind of truth, still this theory that discovered by Galileo still the same. That is true. Maybe he would like to mention that also the Dhamma of the Lord Buddha. Even the Buddha discovered the Dhamma for 2000 years ago, but the teaching of the Buddha is still useful or beneficial for us who practice. The same as the great scientists discover the theory of science before that. And the Dhamma of the Lord Buddha, he mentioned that actually the Dhamma is compared to the tunes. At first, is neither good nor bad. Like he said, apanyagata Dhamma, neither good or bad. Only for those who apply that Dhamma in different ways. If the good one, a good person, apply the Dhamma in a good way, the Dhamma will be benefits for him. But for But for those who didn't apply in a good way, and then it is not good for him. And he compared that when we study the Dhamma of the Lord Buddha, we talk about the person, the place, and the time again, as he mentioned yesterday. Why we come here to recite the Tipitaka, or why we come here to chant together under the Bodhi tree? Why we come here to practice the Dhamma in here? Because it's different place and different time. While the Dhamma of the Lord Buddha is the same everywhere, why not practice in Laos, in Thailand? Why we have to come here to practice in India? Because India is holy land, holy land. Is it the place where the Buddha attained enlightenment? And our heart for this place, our heart for this is very, we have very strong faith in the Buddha. That's why when we practice here, the atmosphere is different. The atmosphere of practicing is different. Even the same thing, the Four Noble Truths, the same Noble Eightfold Path. But he said, we have different feeling. I know the reason why he said something like this. Because maybe some master, some teacher, they told their students, why you have to come to India? Because the Dhamma of the Lord Buddha is everywhere. You can practice in Laos, in Thai. You don't need to come to India, somebody said like that. I also heard this thing. Some of the masters said, why you have to go to India? I think because they never come to India, they don't know. Yeah. But for me, I come to India. I have come to India many times. So I feel that atmosphere. And I believe that to practice in here and practice in different place is quite different. So that's why the master talk about this again. Ukala, the place, the person, the place, and the time. As we also mentioned about Sappaya, there are 7 kinds of Sappaya. Sappaya means something that's suitable, something that facilitate us to practice. For example, if the place is peaceful, solitude place, when we practice meditation, it helps us to progress in the Dhamma more easily, or maybe better than other place. And for the person, if you meet qualified meditation master, if you meet qualified meditation master or the experienced meditation master who teach you the Dhamma, you will understand the Dhamma very well, better than you study the Dhamma with other people that they never practice. For example, if we practice with the Buddha himself, and we practice with somebody else, not the Buddha, how is different? So I just add an example, explanation to his talk. That is, he mentioned about Sapaya, Pokala Sapaya. Pokala Sapaya is someone who can be our master, who can be our good friend, the spiritual friend, especially spiritual friend who can help us to progress in the Dhamma. And of course, he compared to the knife. If the knife is the hand of the surgery doctor, he can use that kind of knife for surgery. But if the knife in the hand of the thief will use that knife or that weapon to do harm to other people. So that the master talk about this. And of course, he mentioned about the Buddha taught us that life is short. We have to contemplate on the three characteristics of existence, like anicca, dukkha, anatta. Anicca is impermanence, dukkha suffering, and anatta non-self. This kind of Dhamma can help us to understand deeply the law of existence, that nothing lasts forever. Even the Buddha himself passed away and leave us. That is what the master talk about this. So he mentioned that there are two kinds of puja. There are two kinds of puja or worshipping. There are two kinds of worshipping. Of course, in Buddhism we have two kinds of worshipping, or amisa puja and patipati puja. Material worship or Dhamma practice as a worship to the Buddha. Even the Buddha supports Dhamma practice, but we can live without both of these things, because these two things support each other. That is, he mentioned about this. And at the end, he said that the reason why we come here to practice and recite the Tipitaka or chanting together is to propagate Buddhism, to how to say, in English we say to prolong. Prolong means something lasts longer and longer. As we heard every day, when we hear the devotion from Myanmar side, Putta Sanong Jirang Tithatu. That means that we wish that the Buddhism, prolong, Tithatu, prolong eternally, something lasts longer. So that is the reason why we come here together to recite together, to practice the Dhamma under Bodhi tree. So thank you very much for all of us, and may you happy and free from suffering.
uh,